Let's do a quick sound check, people. Okay. Shouts to Minister Jap with his sound effects. Without him, we wouldn't be having church up in here for today. All right, everybody. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. This is your boy M3. And there's some things, man, that I definitely want to do, like for the afternoon, and just kind of like get this out the way. Now, before I begin, right? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna put my disclaimers up here, okay? Because today's subject, we're gonna be talking about a little bit about the Manosphere, okay? And I hope this thing goes viral, okay? I don't care about who's watching this, but I think these people need to hear this, okay? Whether it be O'Shea, whether it be someone that's bigger, whether it be like Fresh Fit or whoever. But I think that this little issue needs to be addressed when it comes to the young man who knows little to nothing about the Manosphere, but then yet tries to portray as if you're a part of the Manosphere. Okay, so please be advised that what we discuss is not political, clinical, financial, medical, nor legal advice. This is for information and entertainment purposes only. Okay. Now, make sure that you guys and ladies as well too smash that like button. Okay. It's important to get these likes up. All right. We're gonna get to the topic soon. Make sure we're good. Okay. My racial activity is now hidden. Okay, something new just came up on YouTube. But anyways, we'll get to it. We got 3 people watching. Let me see who's watching. All right. Shout out to the people who are watching us on Knowledge and Relationships. We're going to get started, so hang in tight. Anybody else that comes up here, please be advised the opinions, panelists, guests, and chat are not necessarily the viewpoints of Knowledge and Relationships. If y'all watch us on Twitch, come over and head over to the YouTube side. Please subscribe, like, share this video, because I feel like it will definitely be helpful. But at the same time, when people do come up or we in a chat, please be respectful to the host, panel, chat, stay on topic. If y'all off topic or disrespectful, you will be put on timeout. No second warnings. Enjoy the show. Or you'll get blocked. Okay? Let's go ahead down to, we're going to play some music real quick. Let's play, yeah. I think this will be a good one. Shout out to DJ Eddie King. Shout out to Knowledge and Relationships family. Okay. Now, before I start, let me see. Let me give a shout out to B-Eazy Dat Dude. Salutes to you, B-Eazy. Thank you, bro, for tuning in. Also, let's see. I think I sent the link to the family, so let me just double check to be sure. Oh, no, I did not. So let me do this real quick. All right. B-Eazy. I'm going to send a link to you via IG. And, oops. Hold on for a second. I see I said that twice. Hold on for a minute. You know what I forgot? I don't have my phone hooked up to my computer. That's why. Let me do this over again. All right. Seems like we always be going through some technical issues, right? But it's all good. We won't get it through. Okay. Dang. All right, I'm trying to send a StreamYard link, so having problems getting connected, but hold on. I just got a new phone today, so not everything is connected. Nor can people kind of reach out to me through my phone, but that's like another story. So hold on. I'm going to invite guests. There we go. And B-Eazy Dat Dude. I'm going to send a link to you. There we go. So I sent it to your IG, my brother. Okay, so in the meantime, give me about like one more minute, okay? In the meantime, watch the screen because when I do bring other people up, okay, make sure you guys verify. I do prefer most people to cam up, but if you're new to knowledge relationships, you definitely have to cam up, or show some type of voice verification where you can actually be trusted. So give me about 1 second, okay? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get this started. Cover these banners. All right, make sure you guys get the likes up and subscribe, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get to this topic, okay? All right. Meanwhile, while I wait for some of the crew members to come up, whenever you guys feel like you guys could come up, please come through. So, all right, we've been having this ongoing issue, okay? And this issue is always about when it comes to the focus. I feel like a lot of these dudes, right, in the Manosphere. Well, actually, let me start with this. What my encounter, first encounter, introduction with the Manosphere, okay? So you guys can hear me out. Damn, I'm like hella red on this camera, right? Anyways, so when I started, okay, kind of joined the Manosphere and actually learned from it, I was introduced by a person that I worked with, and he kind of gave me a couple of connections. Excuse me. And at that time before the Manosphere, I didn't know about red pill, blue pill, any of those pills. Okay, that a lot of you guys be talking about. But I gotta give a shout outs to Stan Joseph, the man, because it started when he sent me a video, okay, and usually he sends a lot of these videos. It'd be random, but through that video, he showed alpha male strategies and as known as AMS. And at the time, I'm like, who's this dude or whatever? I listened to his first video, and it would sound like motivational speaking. So I'm like, okay, cool. The dude was talking about relationships. He was talking about pretty much self-improving your life, and I actually enjoyed it. And then the next video I saw, He was like, man, like F these, bleeps or whatever, put them all to sleep. And I was like, yo, this dude is mad funny. But he was preaching a lot of game. And then it kind of triggered, it was like, damn, a lot of stuff he was saying, like, he was absolutely right. And it brought me back to like all the times where I kind of fumbled, or all the times I kind of encountered or had my simpish moments. And he broke down the psychology of female nature. Now I appreciate that because, it wasn't like, it wasn't like he was trying to tear women down, especially black women specific. My mind was just like, okay, the psychology is just women, period, in general. Salutes to Wally. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. So through that, I was like, okay, I like what he's talking about. So then through that, his content, watch Stuff is Cold, MJ, FedEx Fearless, Austin, Dumb Him. I was just absorbing like the red pill. Now, of course, like, me, even as a married man, anybody will get a little bit of red pill rage because you're seeing the world how it is, especially when you look at it through a red pill lens. But at the same time, it didn't really last too long, because at that point, I was like, look, a lot of stuff that people are digesting, if you just take the knowledge, learn how to apply it, and appreciate, understand the psychology of women, now you know how to talk to them. You know how they operate. You could be focused on your own self first, because he was very simple about that. Okay, work on yourself first. He always call it purpose, but really just work on yourself. Put yourself first before paralyzing other people. So I was like, okay, cool. That made sense. Keep that focus in mind. Now, later on, like probably like in the beginning of, I won't say in the beginning of the mid part of 2020, or matter of fact, I think it was like close to the end of 2020, I think. Then I started watching Kevin Samuels content because I saw AMS did an interview with Kevin Samuels, and he was a funny dude as well too. So Kevin would just argue these women down. He'll go at their throats. And at first I was like, oh yeah, like, man, this dude funny. Like, go get him or whatever, right? Because of the quality women he's talking to. But then like later I start seeing like a lot of these people, as he blew up, a lot of these people tried to emulate Kevin Samuels. Okay. They tried to pretty much emulate someone else's structure, I would say. Because I'm not going to say like, the talking points that Kevin had was maybe original, according to some sources. But the way how he constructed, the way how he articulated, he made sure he know how to sell those topic points, which he used to target men, then he started targeting women because women became a bigger market. Anyways, fast forward this, unfortunately on Cinco de Mayo of 2021, Kevin Samuels passed. And all these people who was digesting his content will start becoming the wannabe Kevin Samuels. What up, B-Eazy Dat Dude?
That was good with you, bro. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Salute to you, Brody. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm out riding about. I actually got to do a photo shoot for my homie at any moment once he get out here, but I'm gonna stay linked in until that point.
Okay, well, B-Eazy. Well, then let me get to you real quick, right? I know, like, I just started with my little soliloquy about the, red pill, and as I'm transitioning into like learning about the Manosphere content through like Kevin Samuels, watching a little bit of videos of O'Shea Duke Jackson, and digesting some of the other videos that these people are talking about. Basically, case in point, unfortunately, after when Kevin Samuels passed, a lot of them are trying to take the torch to become like the next Kevin Samuels. But the biggest issue is what I'm seeing is that I'm seeing this constant gender war where I was thought at first we have red pill men that's usually targeting, okay, like just women. But now we're having, I guess, whatever it's called, the black manosphere or just the manosphere. I'm starting to see a wide range of people of all different colors promoting hate towards black women. And what they're promoting is that reasons why Americans should never date American black women, whether if it be passport brothers, whether it be red pill avengers, or just the black manosphere. I'm seeing like a pattern where it's like there's like some type of target on them. And the way how they display them is that they don't find the quality black women that are actually educated and actually have some sense. They usually find a woman that comes from the streets, you know what I mean? That comes from the gutter, and then they'll use that as an example of why men should not date or even look at American, but mostly black women. And there's a lot of hate that's being spewed out right now. So, you know, I'm just here to pretty much cover a little bit of stuff. Well, actually, a lot of it. I ain't gonna say a little bit, but I know you know you're here for a limited time, so I'm gonna let you rock out for a bit.
Yeah, so based off what you were saying, I have seen that. Could you hear me good?
No, you good.
Okay, cool. My bad, bro. Because I'm in a car, and you know it's like the birds and the bees humming and flowing and stuff. But it's a lot of dudes. Women are the same, bro. People try to act like, oh, well, this woman is like that. Yes, different ethnicities, nationalities, cultures of women may have different, you know, behaviors and mannerisms. But if you keep promoting and perpetuating certain things, all women start to pick up on things. There's always going to be separate contingents, right? There's going to be the Tatianas in the streets, and then there's the virtuous wifely type of women. So it's like Harley Quinn and the Joker, right? Joker is what? A psychopath, a killer, a deranged person. Is Harley Quinn a victim for being with the Joker?
Absolutely not.
No. Exactly. She chose the Joker because that's her male counterpart. The Joker chose Harley Quinn because she's his female counterpart. So when women will be saying, hey, these dudes ain't is, she was Dusty, he was a Pookie and Ray Ray, guess what that makes you? His female counterpart. Because you were compatible with them. You let him penetrate your vagina raw. He was the Joker, i.e. Pookie, Ray Ray, Tyrone, Chad, or whoever name you want to put in there. And you were Harley Quinn. So what exactly are you complaining about? And it's on the flip side for these dudes. You knew that you was Joker and you knew that she was Harley Quinn. Why are you complaining about your female counterpart? Man, this chick masculine. But you was with her for 5 years tolerating a chick being masculine? That sounds like you were more effeminate. You want to blame her, but you were more effeminate, allowing yourself to be emasculated for years, but I'm supposed to blame the woman? I have red pill rage. I took the red pill. What does that even mean, bro? That's some square nerd-ish that I can't even comprehend or compute. Because who anointed you? Who gave you the pass? Think about this, bro. Cats will watch videos. Okay, if you was a gangster, if you was a pimp or a thug in the streets, you can't just watch a bunch of thugged out movies and say, I'm a thug now. You can't just watch a bunch of pimp movies and say, I'm Iceberg Slim now. My mouthpiece is cold. You can't do that. But with the red pill, all you got to do is be beta, blue pill buffoon all your life. Watch a couple videos and say, hey, I took the red pill. Now I'm a rager. Does that sound like game? What chick would want that? You've been a loser all your life, didn't know how to deal with chicks. You watched a couple videos and now you think that you Don Juan? You think that you Casanova? because you watched a bunch of red pill content, a bunch of incel energy content from a dude that was blue pill. Like, who anointed you? See, pimps, they got to get put on. Or somebody need to see you on the blade. Like, okay, yeah, I seen B-Eazy out there. He actually was out there. You feel me? Turning and running them tricks. He actually was getting them ducats. M3 can't just say, hey, I'm a gangbanger. People are like, hey, what work did you put in? Oh, you caught a couple bodies. You did some drive-bys. You did some time. People are like, I took the red pill. I'm red pill now. How? You still don't got no chicks. You still ain't getting no vagina. Like, what have you done besides watch a bunch of videos and regurgitate talking points that are not even yours? Shout out to Kevin Samuels, bro. But you don't think he's soaked up game? Bro, where you get game from originally, pimps, players, max, politicians. It's always been like that. So now any random Joe Schmo nerd is watching a video saying, I took the red pill, and they have nothing to substantiate it. It's just they make red pill content, but they're not showing any chicks. And then when they show chicks, I'm like, bruh, you all that red pill game that you supposedly have, and that's the only chick that you could get? You're not making the red pill look good, bro. So people really need to evaluate this stuff. You know, whoever is the upper echelon of the red pill, who anointed these dudes? Because now anybody could just be red pill. Literally, a dude could be an incel for 10 years, take a red pill coaching class, and all of a sudden, he's a PUA now. Nah, bruh. And just to, before I land, just to bring it back to the black women, I've seen many of these red pill gurus say, hey, I don't date black women because they're masculine, they're this, they're that. And then you know what they do? They get with non-black women who be treating them like their son. So you downed black women to go get a non-black masculine chick, you know? So it's so much into it, you know. It's kind of like, the white ice is colder, or this person is exotic, and exotic is typically rare, not something that you regularly enjoy. So when they get a non-black woman and she just does one simple thing, it seems more magnified. It's like me going against LeBron James. LeBron James, is playing against professional athletes. But if I was to hit a 3 on LeBron James, just one 3-pointer, he could beat me in the game. But if I hit one 3-pointer on him, it seems more magnified. Like, bro, you hit a 3 on LeBron James, and that's what dudes do. Bro, you pulled a Chinese chick? Bro, you got a white girl? So they're so marveling in the fact because they didn't think that they were able to do it. They didn't think that they were able to get Becky or Mylene. So when they get her, they're like, yes, I must worship her. How are you any different than the zaddy worshiping divestors? You doing the same thing on the flip side. Men already, most men are simps in vagina worship, but you're taking it a step beyond vagina worshiping. The ones that's downing black women, those are the dudes that is like sucking toes, drinking bath water, eating booty, while at the same time saying how red pill they are. A lot of you dudes is goofy, bruh. You never had chicks. You don't have chicks now. You have to fly across the country to get the same type of chicks that I was getting in high school and middle school. What is red pill about that?
You better preach. No,
I'll land right there.
You saying everything I've been saying. Like, it's crazy.
Man, look.
Hey, my bad if that was too much, M3. But you got me a little hype, bro.
Not be easy, right? Actually, this is only the beginning, homie, right? And I'm just like, right? Actually, I'm like ingesting
M3,
all
did
this
he not
information.
say everything that I've been saying this week?
Oh, of course. But
he
see,
read my brain. B-Eazy, you literally read my mind. You said,
yeah, I didn't know that you said none. I didn't even know y'all had a discussion about this.
Right, you read my mind.
let me do a recap and break it down, right? So, B-Eazy, I like what you said, right? That's why I'm glad that you came up here. Okay, when B-Eazy talked about male and female counterparts, you are who you choose to be with. Okay, that goes for both, for men and women. Okay, So if men are also talking about, damn man, I can't find no woman in my caliber, I can't find a quality woman who's going to be a submissive wife. Well, guess what? Maybe you need to stop trying to holler at hoes and trying to manipulate them and trying to turn them into your housewife, because that's not going to work at all, point blank, period. You are who you choose. Your vibration signals to other people who are like-minded like you. Okay? Get your mind right, people. I'm not done yet. Okay? So I like the Joker and Harley Quinn analogy. All right? The funny thing now is that I feel like now these days, the Manosphere adopted a new leader, okay, which is just pearly things. All right? You guys gotten so bad that now you're adopting a white woman to help lead you to the promised land. Okay? And this is where the focus and direction really goes off at. All you new people that's up here talking about, man, I could bag this woman. I could get this chick. You're not even certified. You're not even qualified to give therapeutic advice, relationship advice. Honestly, you know what? They should make it a law, okay, for you fake ass gurus. All right, that be talking about, you know, how to do this and how to do that. Like you some damn psychiatrists, like therapists. And then a lot of you guys will shame other people who's actually taking self-care and therapy. I had a consultation with someone, you know, shout outs to the person out in the UK, you know. This person told me that his buddies, his red pill buddies, the red pill Avengers came after him and started mocking him and telling him how foolish it was to take therapy. Because he had mental health issues dealing with women that he didn't really know how to attain. And so I had to break it down to him like, look, man, it's all based on the choices that you make. But the good choice that you're making is that you're actually seeking professional help for it. See, people like
M3,
that.
let me just add this point real quick because it's just going to drive your point home.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
this is where the hypocrisy comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dude's trying to better himself, actually pull himself up by his bootstraps, physically, mentally, or whatever. He's a loser, nerd, square, whatever pejorative, because he's seeking out professional and licensed help. He's a weak effeminate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you seek out help and buy my dating class, you're not weak, you're not effeminate. Suddenly you're not an incel. He's an incel if he seeks professional therapy to talk to someone about his issues. But then, hey, subscribe to my Patreon, talk to me about your issues. But you're not an incel. I would never call you that because you're a loyal patron. What is the difference? But see, that's what I'm saying. They try to frame it that way because it would be infringing on their market share, which is buying my classes, buying my courses. I'm the red pill guru to tell you everything. Spill your guts out to me, not a professional therapist. And when it comes and you start asking them and say, hey, well, you was down in this professional licensed therapist. What are your qualifications? Well, I don't need any qualifications. I'm not forcing anyone to donate. They start switching up, stuttering, and explaining. So why are you trying to deter someone from professional help in faith? That's like telling someone, hey, don't go get that surgery. Come get this spiritual healing for me, but just pay for my Patreon so you could do it. It's like, what classes have you passed? What qualifications do you have? Oh, I had a bunch of fine chicks on my podcast. So that qualifies you. Go ahead, M3.
You know, and that's the sad thing because a lot of these people, they get it twisted. You know, and I'm not gonna lie. I used to think that, okay, just because someone could share relatable information to me does not still override them above someone that actually went to schooling, that took these classes to get to where he or she is at right now as a professional licensed therapist. Until you actually take therapy and get down to the root problem of it and allow yourself to be open, you're not going to really get the help that you need. Because see, the problem is, just like the women that run from accountability, these red pill manosphere type of dudes run from accountability as well too. And the part where the truth hurts is that they cannot, okay, get the quality women that they want. Most of them probably will want the black woman. But, however, sometimes black women will tell you the truth. The cold, hard truth or whatever. And people
I'm
can't
that
take
black
that.
woman who will tell you the truth. But I do have a question for M3 and B-Eazy. Well, first, let me say I appreciate.
Where you at, Miss Nebraska?
Huh? Huh?
Oh, I think he's struggle streaming.
Huh?
No, I was just saying, we were just giving you the floor to go ahead and cook.
Oh, I was gonna say, let me first say that I appreciate both M3 and B-Eazy, because I think it's important for people to hear this coming from two black kings. First thing first. Secondly, my question to you two would be, why do you think in 2023 that the majority of these so-called red pill men are hate black women? Where do you think this come from? Where is this stemming from?
Well, I'll go first. And this is just my hypothesis. It stems from, like, social racial challenges. Okay. It stems from self-hate. Actually, I think I wrote this part down too, though, because here's the thing. It definitely involves, like, self-hatred amongst, like, our own people. Okay. Now, I will have to talk about the black men for the black red pill guys or whatever, right? For the ones that always be bashing black women to other nationalities and groups. You may had a hard dealing growing up. Okay, broken home. Probably lived, like, was raised by your mother, and she probably didn't really do the best job and raise you alone. Or you probably had other issues with women growing up that are black. So because, like, of those type of issues that you had growing up, or here's a big thing. I just think they just can't get, like, black women, or they felt like they was never accepted by black women. So now they joined a group where they could actually create a virtual reality of their own personal selves, where nobody doesn't really know the real side of them. So when you're in a group that just have this systematic hatred towards black women, of course you're going to join the bandwagon. But then here's the other thing too, though, which it may not be a clear answer to you at the moment right now, Mr. Nebraska, but it's almost like the answer is also leading to, like, another question. Why is it that most black men, right, you say that you want to go out the country and it's better to date, non-American women, but the women that you go after are not non-American women of your own color? Most of the time you're praising the Latinas.
Or M3, what some of them will try to do, and this is what I've heard out of their own mouths, is that they'll try to butter it up and say, oh, but the women in Colombia and Brazil are black. Well, newsflash, a lot of those women don't consider themselves or identify as being Afro descent.
No, let's go ahead. We're going to look that up real quick, okay? Let's do a screen share. And in the meantime, right, B-Eazy, do you want to rock real quick?
So what exactly was the question again?
The question was, why do you think that the black men in our generation as of today, of the red pill of what they call themselves, hate black women so much? Where do you think it comes from? Where is it stemming from?
So I will definitely, since it's a general discussion, I think I heard M3 say it's most black men. I don't agree with that. I think that it is a specific contingent And regardless, I don't think whether it's most or not is a significant portion, a portion that is problematic. That's, more appropriate, because there's no way to statistically quantify the majority minority, but based on my experiences, I don't think that it's the majority of black men. And also, hate is a strong word. A lot of time people conflate the word hate with, disdain and disagreement or trepidation. Somebody may be annoyed or aggravated with black women, and he may just be expressing his frustrations, and then it will be labeled as hate, but he was just venting out frustrations. And sometimes we vent out frustrations very harshly towards people we love. And if someone tries to say, hey, you said this about so-and-so, you hate them, you'd be like, no, I really love them. That's why I said this. So there is some of that going on. I do agree that there is a contingent of men, a problematic contingent that does hate black women, but I think it also stems from them having a form of internalized self-hatred, but also not truly valuing or having any esteem for themselves. So just like people that bully, there's multiple ways to bully, that it's not just physical. There's also, psychological forms of bullying. And if somebody could get any towards of one up on you in their mind, then they'll use it. It's a very intellectually juvenile, emotionally juvenile, and immature way of approaching things. And a lot of these dudes, they just weren't picked. They were losers. They weren't tall enough. And I could understand if you were just this righteous man. You did everything on the up and up, and you like, damn, man, I'm getting good grades. I got my body up. I got my money up. I got this up. I could see where, someone would feel some type of way if they weren't getting chose by black women that they were wanting to choose.
And
But
bingo, you said it. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to look at themselves though and see, okay, you had all of those things and you didn't get chose. You were still lacking something. So it's still the need, and both genders do this, but I'm just speaking for the men. It's the need to put the blame on someone else to justify your decision. I don't police cats. I say, as long as you own code and you're about black empowerment and black betterment, I'm not gonna say, hey, this dude should only be with black women. If you ask me my suggestion or my recommendation, I would say, yes, you should choose a black woman from here or other parts of the diaspora. But that doesn't mean that, hey, I'm just gonna throw you to the, castaway. But when you start disrespecting black women, and then it's just coincidentally you're with a non-black woman, now it's like, bruh, is she like pegging you? Like, did she buck break you, or did you buck break yourself to get her? Because now that's where I have an issue with. How am I gonna respect you when you emasculated yourself? You asked her to put on a strap on. You asked her to play with your booty, but then you're telling me that black women are bad. No, it's you who are bad, because the issues that a lot of you dudes be complaining about, I don't have them issues. And when I had them issues, you know what the chick got? Deuces, kick to the curb, to the sideways.
Do you have those issues?
What, with black women?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I don't know,
thing, right? I always be saying this. I don't have no issues with my own women. I may have slight issues with women outside. Like I said, the slightest. Women outside of being black, but that's like a rarity. You know what I mean? And
M3, hold on, let me drop this. M3, I gotta say this, bro. The perfect segue, because the dudes that be saying they have a problem, right? I'm tired of these black bitches, right? They got a funky attitude, right? And that's true. Many black women do have attitudes, but then they'll go and get a Latina with an attitude and say that she's spicy.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Huh?
like hot like fire, right?
Bruh,
Thank
she's
you,
spicy.
Thank
Like,
you,
what are
B.
you talking about?
but
Her
be easy.
attitude. Yes, that
Yes.
black woman was crazy with her attitude. Then you get a Latina with a crazier attitude, but you praising her because she could do salsa.
Thank you,
Come on,
B.
bruh.
Thank
But
you,
yeah,
B.
but be easy, and that's a good point that you made, right?
That was a great point.
Because here's the thing: most of my arguments are from the quote unquote spicy Latinas or whatever. Okay, whether it be some just issues, knowing them were married, whether it be some other issues that's going on, maybe they probably just on their period. But the point is, everyone, okay, woman has an attitude problem every now and then. Okay. And I don't take it personal. I don't look like, oh my gosh, like
That's
damn,
just a woman thing, bruh. That's fact.
yeah.
Thank
I don't
you.
be like, oh damn, these Latinos, like they got like attitude problems. Oh damn, these black women, god damn, they're disgusted, right? They got some attitude problems. I don't look at it like a colorist type of thing. I just look at it like, okay, obviously, there's Native Americans, Indian women, Middle Easterns. Look, I've been through it all, and they all have attitude problems. They have the good moments.
Thank
They have
you.
their sour moments. That's why when I talk about women, I talk about all of them.
All women,
not
right.
just all black women exclusively, not just all Latinas exclusively. I'm talking about every single woman I encounter. You guys have emotions. However, men have their own emotions too, that if it's not dealt with, then it leads to violence. Then it leads to school shooting and all that. Okay? Let's not negate like the emotions of an unstable man. Okay? But first, I gotta give a shout out real quick to, all right, Miss She Stole My Thunder. You already know how it is. If you're still here watching, because the raindrops fall. Well, actually, today's a little sunny outside, so ain't no raindrops falling. But thank you for tuning in. And then I also gotta give a shout out to Sir Hell Speaks, who's also in the building. So salute to you, Sir Hell Speaks. Thank you for tuning in.
Salute to you guys in the chat.
Yes, thank you so much, man, for the support. But while you guys was talking, if you notice, I was scrolling down from Google because, you know, to answer like your comment from earlier, Mr. Nebraska, whenever men say, well, there's a lot more, you know, darker or, you know, or let's say brown tone women that look black, first thing that I pull up from Google are showing more on the Latina side. I don't see a drop of black at all.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Here's the thing though. What was said by some of the red pill guys here on YouTube is that well, some of the women are black in Colombia and Brazil. And that is true. Some of the women, some people are black that live in South America and Central America. Actually, black people live all over the globe. Like we're everywhere. We're in Ireland. We're in South America. We're in Central America. We're in America. However, a lot of these black people who are across the diaspora, they don't identify or they don't like to connect themselves with having Afro descendants. And so my question is, why do they feel like they have to validate that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't see.
Hold on. When you say they, who are the they that you're saying?
The red pill guys who
who
verbalize in several of these chats that I see and I've been in that they hate black women. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so let me just be honest with you, okay? And this is like the cold hard truth, okay? Now, take this woman real quick. Now, she has a little bit more black features, if you guys can see that. Actually, can you see my mouse?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So, although she has like, you know, the black lips, I can see like a little gap in between, and, you know, fair, you know, a little nice like brown tone. But however, you know, of course, some of these women are not going to really label themselves as black. You know,
No,
most of
because
them are proud.
nobody across the globe wants to identify with
Yeah,
with
well, yeah. But here's the thing: a lot of these dudes are just full of cap. Unfortunately, this is
Well,
what I talked
actually,
about.
no, they actually do want to identify as black, but off the record, unofficially, right?
Mhm.
That's why they attach Afro Latina or Afro whatever. And
Well,
then when
black
you
and
talk to them,
convenience. Hmm.
exactly, when you talk to them, it's all Latina. It's like, I thought you were Afro Latina. So, like, where's your representation for your Afro part there? But they
See, they was
use
Afro
that
Latina
to
for
get
that
the
moment. Hmm.
exactly. So it's also a form of pandering, you know, so they get to represent and say, I could say nigga, I could say this, I could act this, I am a nigga, right? But
Hmm.
they'll say that at the cookout. But then on when it's
Wait.
time,
Mhm.
to say identify, what are you, they make sure not to say Afro nothing. They say I'm Hispanic, I'm
correct.
Latina.
Well, Beasley, let me expound on that a little bit further, right? The most majority time, right, when these women will identify them as black, right, is when they are ready to hyper finesse the passport black man who they know that will be easy prey to catch. Because here's the thing, this when they once they go out to the country, this is where they let their guards down the most. Okay, they see a beautiful woman who already knows the program, and they have more game than some of these American women out here. So what they do, they play with the hearts and the minds of a person who desires them the most. Shouts to Big Rick Slaps in the building.
What's up, big
So
big?
so what so what they do? Because some of them will tell you, hey, we was just trained, right, to pretty much serve American men when they come out to our country because they have a higher chance. Okay, and since they know the news, they know what's up, the game. Since they know, right, that most of them go out of the country, okay, because they can't handle the American women in their country, and they're looking for someone where they could wife up, have sex with, or just be in an exclusive relationship without marriage. They know that all they have to do is just say something sweet to them, be nice to them, you know, maybe make their bed sheets or something. Give them a glass of milk, okay, and water at the same time, and instantly they will fall in love. Instantly they will fall in love with them.
Bro,
Okay.
M3, bro, you gotta let me go on this, bro, because, man, it's a video. It's circulating around. I actually need to break down some of these videos because a lot of these videos, dudes just like really revering the people in the video. So there was a video of a dude that went to Thailand, some other passport bro. He's on there with some chunky fat Thai chick. She was cute. I'm not gonna hate. He was on there with some chubby chick, and she's
Mhm.
saying, I cook, I clean. Bro, you couldn't get nobody to cook and clean out here. You couldn't get a little cute fat chick to cook and clean for you out here.
Oh, be
Bruh,
easy,
I'm
be
sorry.
easy.
Bro, that was not the flex that you thought it was.
Is
Dudes are
that the
going to
same
Thailand and saying,
passport,
my
bro?
chick cooks for me. My chick bring me breakfast. Oh, this is what I wake up to. This is what I wake up to out here. Out here, bro. Like, I don't
Oh
got, if
man.
I go to the country, I'm going to get 10 times that. You going there and you bragging about the basics, bro. I'm sorry, bro. A lot of y'all passport bros, shout out to the ones that's doing it appropriately, correctly. It's a lot of y'all that it's a lot of dudes
Mhm.
that's more vocal, that's representing the passport bros or the passport population, and they look like clowns. They
Yeah,
going
they
on here
do.
trying to flex. You talking about how overweight, which it's
They
not
don't look
my
like
stats. They
clowns. They
say
are clowns.
Oh, bees! Don't forget about the dude that went out there finessed. All right, got finessed out there in Brazil or whatever country. He was tricking so much that he forgot to pretty much like get his flight back to America.
No, that was Dominican Republic.
Oh, Dominican Republic. Okay, I stand
man,
corrected.
Yeah,
it's all the
but
same. It
the
don't matter
guy,
where it
the
was at.
passport bro that B-Eazy is talking about, I think he was also the same dude who got slapped by a Asian girl. I think he was in the Philippines or something. She slapped him on camera.
It was in
So
Thailand. It was
was that
either
Thailand?
It's
So
either
you
like
so you went
Phuket or Bangkok, one of those. But
right,
Hold
and
on.
she slapped them. She slapped them on camera. So
Damn.
you know all over your YouTube
yeah,
channel, looking crazy, talking about black women this, black women that, or American women this, that, and the third, and you got disrespected on camera by an Asian chick. Go figure. Make it make
correct. Who is supposed to be the most sweetest, most feminine.
make
And bro, you supposed to be red pill and masculine. You fly across the country and getting smacked in the face by chicks.
make
You
it
fly
make
across
sense.
the country and choosing chubby chicks. Chicks are getting a body done. You dealing with young chicks. You know how many young chicks is in college right now with amazing bodies, bro? Out here, bro. I'm in California. I don't know how the chicks look like wherever y'all dudes was living. Was y'all living in Wyoming or North Dakota? Nothing wrong against them. Like, where was the chicks that you were seeing? Because any city I walk to, even a hole in the wall, I see some chick where I'm like, ooh, she looks cool, like she's attractive. And she's either gonna get with my program or she's gonna get on someone else's program. I'm not gonna make some
Good about
content
that.
and say she didn't get on my program and she's so masculine because she didn't do what I wanted her to do. She's doing what someone else wants her to do, and I'ma just bring someone in that's with my program. That's the music that all of y'all passport bros should have. The music
Exactly.
M3 is playing now.
Yep.
When y'all get on here talking about black women are so masculine and so fat, and then you go and choose a fat
And
chick
then
from
you go
Thailand.
to with that Asian girl. Okay.
Come on, bro. What
Make
are
it
we
make
talking
sense.
about here?
Make
And
it
Yeah.
make
you lusting over the basics. Here's a challenge to all you red pill dudes. Show me the chicks that's bringing you breakfast in bed here. Show me the chicks that's buying you gifts here. Because if you go over there and do like, oh, I got a gift from a chick from Thailand, bro, she bought you some seashells that cost $2. You know what I mean? Come
Oh
on,
my
or
bruh.
god.
even
Y'all
worse,
getting, bruh. I've had
or
chicks hand me
even worse,
thousands before. Racks
or
out here, bro. I've had
or
chicks give me
even
their
worse,
tax
you
return
bought
out
him a
here.
gift with his money. How about that?
I'm just saying, y'all dudes need to step it up, bruh. For reals. A lot of y'all dudes
High
is
value
just
nerds.
looking highly simpish, bruh. And like,
They don't need to step it up, B-Eazy. They need to go find a therapist, a psychiatrist, or psychologist and sit in their chair. That's what they need to do.
well, that actually would be stepping up their acumen, their social and mental awareness. That would be stepping it up, because all of this other stuff is a step down. This is not against anyone that's over there, bruh. You should be able to go to any square foot of the earth and choose a woman that's down to get on your program. I have no issues with people doing their interracial dating thing, as long as you're not bashing people, as long as you're not downing your people, and you're not against the betterment of black people.
Right.
I'm not going to police you in that regard. But when you start saying I chose a Becky and Becky is better because of this, now
Thank
that's
you.
where I have an issue. And
Thank you.
if you want to generalize, then if the people that say, okay, Western women are like this, I understand that. A lot of those criticisms are valid. But when
Right.
you hop on camera and you contradict yourself by saying women are overweight, and you go and get overweight chicks, women are masculine, you go
Or if
overseas
you're
and dealing with
overweight
masculine
yourself,
chicks, that's a
if you're
big thing
fat
too.
yourself, then
What?
how do you? I mean, come on now. You
Yeah.
think they want a fat dude, but you run
I,
around here talking about you don't want a fat chick? I
that's a
need you to
great
go to the gym.
that's a great point, Mr.
I need
Braska.
you to put up your man boobs, okay?
Yeah, you ain't the
Look,
breast. When I say breast, what gender do you think of?
Female.
Yeah, so bruh, if you got breast, that's effeminate right there. That's what you need to be working on, instead of worrying about, oh, these women don't accept me. You got titties and she got titties. What is she accepting you for, bruh? Oh, well, I'm
Thank
gonna fly overseas and have some foreign chicks suck on my titties. Well, you do that, bruh. But you could get a chick to do that here if you actually step it up. You feel me? Step it up in the weight room. Step up your knowledge, your acumen, your work ethic. A lot of cats is going over there. That's what they doing. They going over there for shortcuts. But they over here saying, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You lazy. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't work hard enough here. That's why you have to resort. The passport for some is a way of life. I respect that.
Exactly.
The others is a shortcut. It's a way out. There's a difference between a way of life and a way out. So a lot of you dudes is just looking for shortcuts. You're actually looking for a handout. You're going over there and you're looking for a physical handout where you saying, "Oh, don't take this from the government," and y'all trying to do this. You're trying to go over there and get a foreign handout. You're trying to get a chick over there to hand you something that you could get here.
3 minutes, Riggs. Hold on for one second, B-Eazy, right? Because we got people that's talking in chat, right? Riggs, we're gonna shoot the link in 3 minutes, okay? I'll open it up to the public.
And just to respond, this is my last thing.
Yeah.
You said, what's the real issue? That's the vague question. I've clearly stated my position. I don't have an issue with passport bros. I have an issue with talking points and rhetorics. Passport bros are individuals. I don't know who is an individual passport bro, who's identifying as that. I'm speaking to a specific ideology. But I don't know if you just tuned in. I just said I don't got an issue with interracial dating. Passport bros.
That's the key point. They just walked in, right? So let me make it clear to you guys, right? So this is not a conversation about passport bros, nor are we shitting on passport bros. We are shitting on the majority of these dudes, right? That makes these excuses of why they feel like they have a right to shit on black women, which is again a little egregious at this point. Right. And a little bit like just baffling, because here's the thing. Didn't your asses like get popped out from a black woman? Right. So did you guys get raised by, I will hope you guys got raised by good women, good black woman, at least. But the problem is that people come up to this space, right? And the first rhetoric that they always have to say is that, well, damn, man, these black women, they're hella masculine. I can't date these like black women or whatever because they pop up the muffin and gums. But then you'll go to Thailand, you'll go to Brazil, you go to all these other countries, and then you're praising the Latinas, the Asian women, and they're just as spicy as hell. But you'll use that term analogy of, oh, they're spicy, as if it's attractive for them to get at you that way. Ain't nothing attractive having a woman, or I don't care if it's a black woman, Asian woman, whatever, slap you in the face, especially if you're live streaming, if you're on television. It ain't cool, period. So
the high value nurse, he did not say all passport bros. People have selective hearing in the chat.
Well, the thing is, high value nurse just got up here, and actually we're at the 1 hour mark. So I will post the link right now so people could feel free to hop in so we could have a discussion. All right.
And I would like to know, why are black passport bros going over to Africa as they are running over to Asia and South America?
So this was another thing I was gonna bring up, right? Because here's the thing, right? Most of them, could just have a really strong preference where they look at the woman like based off like the curls of her hair, the ones that they could perceive as someone that doesn't have to wear weaves and all that, because we have people that talk about that.
But there's tons of beautiful African women in Africa. So why don't we see a large amount of these passport bros like we see going to South America and Asia? Why aren't they going to Africa?
I'm going to just say this, because they don't look at Africans as attractive as the women of like lighter skin tone, the curly hair or whatever, or maybe the brunettes. I'm going to give you the real deal.
Can I add something, please?
Go ahead, right, value nurse.
I don't know where y'all, and listen, I got a beautiful foundational American black woman. So I'm not saying that nothing ill will about black chicks in general. Okay. My woman is a beautiful FBA woman, but this is generalities too, because there are plenty of passport bros that are going over to the different countries in Africa getting wives. I don't know where this is coming from. And like I said,
You made that distinction though.
I'm not a passport bro, and I'm not even an advocate to a degree, but I understand the plight because, like I said, the generalities are being spoken of because not all passport bros are doing that. But since we talking about that,
but we
wasn't
made
it
that
a lot
distinction,
of, wasn't it a lot of black women that were crapping on a black
you just
man?
gonna ignore that then? Okay.
But wasn't that a lot? But wasn't a lot of black women saluting on a dead black man when Kevin Samuels died? Because see, that's what jumped off this whole thing. That's what really jumped off this whole thing. And then we need to talk about the passport sis, because if we want to talk about it, black women been going over to Jamaica getting their backs blown out for decades. This is nothing new. Over in countries in Africa, they had to put a ban on black women and European women and all different kind of women from coming over there, soliciting the young African men over there. So what are we really talking about if we gonna have a real conversation?
Okay, so go ahead, Alonzo.
So multi-level, because I understand where you're coming from, high value nurse, right? In terms of, what the women are doing and blah, blah, blah. But right now we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the men. Now, in terms of what the men are, is I think the major issue that people are having is that it's being thrown into people's face. I personally work with quite a few gentlemen whom all have their passports. However, they don't call themselves passport bros. And when they travel, it's completely different. Number one, we set up at least a 10-year plan. So they're not saying that they can go overseas with $40,000 and live, because they understand they got to pay U.S. taxes and taxes in the country they live in. They're coming with a 10-year plan to buy an actual property over there, because they've done the research to find out you can't buy a house with a mortgage overseas like you can in America. So if the house is $300,000, guess what you got to have to buy that house in Greece or Rome or Colombia or Brazil? $300,000, right? So what ends up happening is the moniker has been thrown on mongers, right? Which is dudes like old boy who went to the DR with $600 off of, super chats and then ended up broke. That's what we have an issue with, is dudes going over there for the $40 holla and then coming back sleeping on a piece of toast. When we talk about Kevin Samuels, because high value nurse, you have an absolute point. A lot of this stuff did snap off after Kevin Samuels, but I don't think we realized that Kevin Samuels initially was talking to men. He was talking to a certain caliber of men. There's a clip that got all kinds of distorted where he asked the dude if he had a big dick. And he was asking him that because he was like, yo, if you got a big dick, you know if you got one, because you're going to walk around with that energy and you're not going to think a nigga asking you that is suspect. You're going to be like, yeah, nigga, I'm swinging from that Himalayas, right? So you ain't really going to be too concerned with that. What ended up happening was a lot of people, men with soft feelings, ended up, and listen, I used to be one of them wear my hugged ass niggas in high school. So I understand the Kevin Samuels fan club of niggas who was like, get that girl that was in high school with me that ignored me. But we also fail to realize, just like there were guys that got ignored, there was some bizzaddies who got ignored, who we didn't know they was baddies when we was in middle school and high school. Then we graduate and we're in our 20s and 30s and we look up and I'm like, damn, Kayla was kind of fine back and I didn't even know she had all that body and da-da-da-da-da. Or, Kayla's just the name I came up with, stereotypical black name. But, I think we have to look at that. So the passport bros is unfortunately being diminished by the mongers. It's just like black men get diminished by Glocktavius, right? We're all men who are productive, but just for the simple fact that we black men wearing a polo shirt, the cops look at us a certain way. Go ahead, Havai.
Okay,
wait. Before you guys go, right? Hold on, Miss Nebraska.
No, I just said well said, Mr. Hall. That's all.
Yeah. B-Eazy, are you still here? Okay, I think you stepped up real quick. All right, let me kind of like explain in this convo, right? Because I know you guys came late, and at least the tail end of the point, that B-Eazy was using black passport brothers as another outlet of or excuse of what people would try to use against black women when they're talking bad about them. But what we're really talking about is the overall bums in the manosphere that they take certain points from whether it be Kevin Samuels, whether it be from all the other platforms that's teaching about, self-improvement, and then they're using it as a tool instead of digesting the good parts, they're using it as a tool to pretty much expand on their laziness by saying like, oh, I'm this way because of black women, or I have anger issues because of black women. You know what I mean? As opposed to just saying, hey, look, let me go ahead and pick up my bootstraps or whatever and do what I need to do as a man, learn from what I'm hearing from these dating gurus or these relationship gurus, however you want to call them, and make myself better. But instead, you utilize a lot of the time to pretty much go from platform to platform as a troll,
Right.
just to spew out your anger, your hatred towards the people who you felt hurt by, as
Right.
opposed to just dealing with your personal demons. Salutes to setting the record straight. Definitely follow like they're along on YouTube, So salutes.
Can I respond, please?
Go ahead.
Okay. So M3, we got to be fair though. If we're gonna bring up a situation, you have to be fair to bring in all the pieces to the puzzle. Because I can accept what y'all saying about the whole mongers and some men being out here tricking and all that kind of stuff and just trying to straight up throw black women under the bus. That's corny. But we have to look at the whole thing. You literally have some black creators, black female creators on YouTube saying abort black male babies. Okay. So if I'm going around hearing that as a black, and they're popular, I'm not going to say their names, but they are popular. It's a whole.
Can you put it in the private chat for us, please?
Yeah, I'll put it. Yeah, I'll put it in the private chat. But, and I'm not going to say their name here because they don't need to shine. But all I'm saying is this: there's a whole group of black women that are dedicated to the destruction of black males. Is that every black woman? Absolutely not. Now, here is another thing, too. This is why people are so mad. And that guy who went to DR with $500, he's a dusty nigga. He's a dusty nigga with no money and he's broke. But he will be the guy that they do the flagship around when it comes to the passport bros, because he is going to be seen as the dusty loser nigga that go over and trick off his money. That's all he was a trick. The reason that the passport bro situation is stinging a lot of people, because you do have a lot of well-to-do black men, not just black men, because black people, we catch on the shit late. White men been going overseas and haven't been passport bros for decades. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. But the problem is that you have well-to-do black men. That's why they are upset. But the thing is, the well-to-do black men that are quote-unquote passport bros, they're quiet. They're not these young dudes who go around talking about black women ain't this, black women ain't that. I definitely understand the plight of why some of them will go overseas, though, because overall it's a better deal when you go to certain countries. My money goes further. A lot of the women over there are traditionally raised and they don't want to deal with some of the westernized women over here. Like I said, do you have some outliers in the passport, bro? Sure. A lot of them cats is corny, but we got to bring the thing full circle. When you say, well, we cannot talk about black women going over there to be passport sis. But how can you not? Because they are demonizing the passport bros, making them look like sex tourists, when the same actions have been taking place from European women and black women for years. They made a whole movie about how Stella got her groove back. Like, come on now, let's not play this game, bro. Like, like, we got to be fair, bro. And like I said, I'm not a passport bro. But to be a frequent passport bro and to live well, not on no trick dusty stuff, that costs money. You need money and paper and resources to do it. That's why they're mad, because the men with money, paper, and resources are taking their resources elsewhere. Because think about it. If they wasn't concerned with the passport bros. They wouldn't say nothing. Cause let's be honest, black women ain't trying to respond to nothing that ain't affecting them. Black women will ignore your ass. If it's a guy that they ain't trying to mess with, or it's a guy that they don't like, trying to holler at them, they will act like that nigga don't exist. But the fact that there are well-to-do black men going over there and being passport bros, that's the issue. I know doctors and lawyers that won't even touch American women. And these ain't just black men. These is white men and men of other ethnicities. So that's all I'm saying. Just bring it full circle. We're going to tell it.
All right, so CJ, definitely check out the private chat, right? Because I do have a reference where I actually like gave my kudos and praise to the passport brothers and why women are so upset with the passport brothers. So yeah, like like I get what you're saying, right?
I'm still trying to see these women who are so upset with passport brothers.
In that previous video, I did broke down my own personalized like thoughts. But here's the thing, right? If I want to talk about like, okay, the good side of passport brothers, these are the actual brothers that what CJ is talking about. I'm sorry, what High Value Nurse is talking about. The ones that
call me CJ, bro. We good. M3, call me CJ, man.
All right, cool, no problem. Then, but these are the passport brothers, right? That actually do travel, right? To get good goods. You know what I mean? To do things that's more on a professional upscale type of level. And if you get women, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But what I'm mostly talking about for today's topic, even besides like the passport brothers, I'm just talking about how you have like these dusty dudes that's sending a bad representation to black men. The same thing that I talk about how like these hoes are a bad representation to the good quality men. Overall, we're getting too focused on this frivolous like gender war. Yes, we do have YouTubers, black YouTubers, and other like women in the chat will actually praise the downfall or a death of other YouTubers who is actually doing something or making a difference or speaking out against the hypocrisy of women. But my point is that like, okay, it gets to like a line that's crossed like where now it becomes like not even just with black men, it's just men all over. And I've been in spaces where like you have black pill white men that will actually agree with like a save your own black men and tell them on live, hey, I don't blame you for not dating black women, young man. They are headed. But do that person actually have the true experience of, okay, dating a black woman, getting to know a black woman? And if that person don't have the experience, then who is that person to say how awful black women are? It makes me think you just joined the bandwagon. And I think that's where we're B-Eazy. I know, like I said, he went into men who are travel, but there's more to it. It's not just the men who travel. We're just talking about men who's pretty much praising other groups, but then yet when the topic comes with black women, then it's like you're shitting on them. But then when the other women or other nationalities they come and now like they shit on you, now you want to get upset. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's going on with this whole space in the manosphere. Because right now,
for me, I'm sorry, M3. So for me as a black woman in America. Mm-hmm. And I can only speak for myself. If I run into a black man that, wasn't for me or did something, I never come out of my mouth on social media or off social media and say all black men are this, all black men are that, all black men. I would never, because I haven't dated all black men, first of all. So I can't make that assumption. I can't make that statement. But it bothers me to hear some of these red pill black men on these YouTube platforms say that about black women. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, it's crazy to me because, on my platform, I show nothing but love to black men around the globe, not just in America, but around the globe. I love the black man. So how did we get from that to these toxic subjects and the chat is toxic? It's crazy to me.
I think we've given a lot of people a platform to spew chaos behavior and notion. And once you have that, it takes on a whole different ideology on its own. But M3, I was just on a broadcast with y'all maybe like maybe a week ago? Listen, the average man is tired, okay? This is where a lot of this is coming from too. It's a lot of frustration. We now live in a world to where if you don't make six figures, if you ain't 6 feet tall, you're not good enough for a woman over here in the West. That is what a lot of men are experiencing. So now, okay, cool. I'm a black man. I feel like a lot of these black women don't want me. And I'm just putting myself into a mind of somebody who may go overseas and become a passport bro. I'm a black man. I make $50,000 a year. I make a little bit of above average salary. Okay, I feel like a lot of these women ain't feeling me because I go online and all I hear is I need a Birkin. And I know that's not all black females, but if we're going to speak in generalities, let's talk about it. I be hearing women say, oh, I need a Birkin. I need a scammer. I need a thug. I need a this. I need a that. Okay. So, and I tell dudes all the time, we don't want those low. See, I don't even understand why we keep interviewing these low quality women to begin with. I think that's bad because I don't care
I mentioned about that too earlier,
Yeah, I don't care about these low quality ass bras. But just to put my mindset into a mind of a man who may become a passport bro, if I'm making $50,000, I can go over to Gambia in Africa and my $50,000 turn into $500K. Or I can go over to the Philippines and my $50,000 go way more than it can over in there. I can get a condo for $1,000 a month versus being over here in America where I got to pay $3,500. I was in Cancun a couple weeks ago. It was a high rise, $300 a month in American money, bro. So you telling me I can get a traditional woman and my money can go farther? Stop playing, bro. Like that's a hell of a deal for most dudes. And they don't care about how I look. You know, if I'm a dude that's not in shape or if I'm a dude that's ugly, they don't care about that because the women are supposed to be the cute ones. Over there, I'm supposed to be the dude that can provide. Over here, you got to be 6 feet. You got to dick her down good. You got to do all that. And I ain't knocking that. If you got all that, that's beautiful. Knock yourself out. But every man ain't built like that. Every man can't make 6 figures. So if they gonna go over there and get the best bang for their buck, then why not?
Now, on an economic, standpoint, yeah, that will make sense to use your money to stretch it out even further out of other countries. And if there's low expectation, I get that. You know, I don't knock none of that shit down, right?
Me either.
Just be clear.
I say go for it.
But I'm also going to be realistic as well too, right? For men who do go out there and they come at these situations naive as if these are the perfect women. Well, here's the thing. If you were making the same amount as if you was making in their country, you know, would they look at you different? Will they still have the submissive type of attitude? That's all. That's the only thing I just want to point out, because there's a lot of praise and you know, like I said, it's a good opportunity. You know, if you're just trying to save money, if you're trying to make your money flex even more, I'm all for that. But when people are looking at it as if okay, man, these people are pure heart, I'm like, look, bro, I'm gonna just give you the reality. You know, there's certain standards that they have, but their standards is not American standards. They may not look at your weight. They may not look at your height or whatever. They might not even be super unrealistic. But one thing's for sure, they're not gonna just choose any black man. I don't care if you came from the streets. You know what I mean? And you come in with a pocket of $500 or whatever. They want quality men as well too, just as the American women want quality men. Except that I would say that American women, you know, they do ask for a little bit more, and that's just not with black women, but that's just the American culture.
The other thing to look at on the economic side is, you know, and high value, I know you're not saying this is your mind, but in the thinking of a lot of men who, you know, may become a passport bro, I do hear that thinking often. Well, you know, I could get an apartment over here, $300 a month. You realize that you have to maintain that American income. right? And a lot of the jobs, especially if you're making an average salary, ain't gonna let you work remote, especially outside of the country. So then you have the dilemma of actually maintaining the income that you're maintaining to enjoy that lifestyle. Now, and that's what again gets it mixed up with the mongers, because the mongers can go over there for a 3-day weekend. Shit, let's ball out even a month, right? But you got to come home and get back to regular life, as opposed to, I've worked on Wall Street with like I said, white guys who actually had an entire additional family in Brazil. Yet they have to send, X amount of thousands of dollars a month to maintain the house and the lifestyle of the wife and kids that they have in Brazil. That's unbeknownst to their wife and kids that they have here in America. So, like you said, high value, it becomes costly. And then what ends up happening is a lot of men end up in a situation like the Dusty Dude, right? However, the Dusty Dude is now not that dusty because he's making his rounds. He's a damn celebrity. Everybody's bringing him up on their show and interviewing him and giving them all these high praises. And what it does for black men is it gives us another bottom of the totem pole goal to strive for. So while we're striving for something, we're actually striving for the bottom of the totem pole. And we can't continue to allow ourselves to be, the lowest class.
Great point.
I 100% agree with you, Mr. Hall. I do agree. But here's the thing. Well, M3, he was making a point about what they respect you if you made that same amount there. Well, let me ask. We have a lovely young woman on the panel, Miss Nebraska. Let me ask you a question. If you were in a relationship with a man, would you expect him to work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you want him to provide in some way? Not saying that you require him pay all the bills, but would you require him to do something in some way to contribute to the household?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what woman, whether she be American, whether she be Filipino, whether she be African, whether she be European, what woman wants to voluntarily marry into poverty? Not none. And that's a weak argument that some American women will use. Well, she only wants you for your money. You do too. You do too. Because if I don't provide resources, you can talk all that love stuff all you want. But if I'm healthy and not providing resources and let's just see how long this love gonna last. Because one thing I do know about women from working around them so much, no woman likes to spend her own money if she does not have to. Let's just keep it 100. She doesn't, and I'm around women that's making 6 figures plus all day, every day. And I'm telling you right now, no woman, well, let me not say no, but most women do not want to spend their own money if they don't have to. And went back to Mr. Alonzo. Alonzo, you 100% right. But here's the thing. That's why they are upset, because there are men who can't provide the lifestyle of being a passport bro, going back and forth effortlessly. That's the issue. We're not talking about the Dusty who is struggling. Black women ain't worried about him. They are worried about the man who can, because what is that doing? That's sending a message to other younger men, like the men that follow my platform, the young men that's going to school to be nurses, no kids and everything like that can make $100,000 plus in 11 months. That's who they worried about. They worried about the dudes like that, because if those Filipino women or those African women get in the dudes like that ear, which they are fighting for, then you got a real problem, because they are predicting by 2030 that 54% of women will be single. You're going to have a real issue on your hands if you got young dudes, and I'm promoting it. Black men, if you young and have no kids or whatever, do not get with no woman that have no kids. Start your own family, whether it be in America or whether it be overseas. Do what you got to do. Make sure you stack your paper, get your money so you can live the life the way you want to live it. But that's why it's such a problem.
I agree. That's really good advice.
Well, here's the thing. High value nurse, everything you just said, even from the beginning, that's what I was pretty much was just saying. So I agree with you that, it's not about the love. It's just how well can you actually stretch your money out. The point I was just making was that, like, these men who talk about these things are expecting to pretty much have love in exchange, without really looking at the barriers that, okay, if you're not really making those American dollars, or if you're out there and you're like, making money that's considered in the poverty line, these women are not going to treat you with the same reverence and respect like they'll treat most American men, because they're already expecting American men who are traveling that they have some money that they could spend, that they have some money that could take care of you, and they look at us as big spenders anyways. So everything that you're saying, like, yeah, like that's pretty much like the point. I just don't want men to get, confused or to be misguided and think that, okay, well, as long as I travel out there, these women are gonna love me for me, as opposed to the women in America without little to no expectations. So I just want to make that part clear, because it's important that no matter what relationship you get into, I don't care about the whole love shit. You better make sure that you're able at least to sustain yourself and for the woman that you choose that you want to be with.
And I have a question for High Value. So why is it when white women oh shoot, oh that hurt it.
Okay.
Why is it when white women can say what they want out of a man and it's okay, but as soon as black women say it, they're gold diggers, they're hoes, they're this, they're that. Why is it a difference when white women can verbalize what they want, but black women can't verbalize what they want? Where does that difference come from?
Okay, well, you can verbalize what you want all you want, but here's the thing though, you don't have groups of white women telling you how independent that they are from their white men. You will not find it nowhere. You don't have white female artists doing records about how they don't need no man, and how they don't need and how they don't need this and how they don't need that. And you got to understand, black women have been finessed by feminism and white women. They have been finessed. It's the biggest finesse, because they convincing you through the media that being single and not relying on a man is the way to go. Right. When black women statistically are the most single women on planet Earth. American black women, I should say, are the most single unmarried women on planet Earth. This is not me being vitriol. This is me just giving you data. You know what I'm saying? So you can say what you want, all you want. But here's the thing. Expectations are extremely high for a lot of women who are not even fit for those expectations. That's just like me, right? Okay. I know I'm never going to the NBA, Miss Nebraska, because I don't have the skill set to get into the NBA. I'm not tall. I can't play basketball. Therefore, my expectations are not that high when it comes to a sports career. A lot of women say a lot of these women in America, not just black women, but you do have a lot of Americanized women that say, well, I require this in a man. If he can't do that, then I'll just be by myself. And a lot of average men are starting to say, goodbye. Be by yourself then. And we'll go over here. So like I said, fair exchange is no robbery. There is every single relationship you are in, there's an exchange involved. All that love stuff, that's wonderful. But I guarantee the moment you stop being a provider in some sort for your wife as a man, whether she's American or not, bruh, you done. It's out the window.
I'd like to touch on that question that you asked, Miss Nebraska. And I think I can speak to it like this, working in the financial services industry. And I have some clientele who are, well, at least athletes. And so one of the things that I've noticed when men become men of means, specifically black men, and they end up with white women, a lot of the reasoning behind that is because we come from families where we don't see much financial acumen. And societally, realistically, the man is supposed to make the money, bring the paycheck home to his wife, right? And, basically the wife handles the house. Anything that crosses that threshold is, the wife's mail. So often these guys are just looking at it from an aspect of, well, even if she doesn't quite have a full grasp on how to handle, manage, or not squander my money. She at least comes from an environment of the like. Now, is that particularly true? Yeah, in the fact that they know how to milk a dude, but I don't know that it's true in the fact that they know how not to squander his money. They just know how to be a trust fund baby. But the perception is, well, Becky comes from a family of wealth and it's been passed down generation to generation. So Becky and Tammy and them are going to be more likely to handle the money than Wanda and Rhonda.
Can I add one more thing, and I'm about to be done. And that was a fire point, Mr. Alonzo. And shout out to B-Eazy. B-Eazy be bringing out the best in me. I need a fair one with B-Eazy on some debate stuff.
Listen,
I like B-Eazy. I like B-Eazy because he keep me on my toes. Shout out to him if he watching. I need a fair one.
Shout out to B-Eazy.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see. So Miss Nebraska too. I was gonna tell this to you too. Women of other cultures, they actively chase the men in their community, the men that are providing, the men that they consider valuable. That's another thing that a lot of I don't want to just put it down to black women, but if you tell black women, some black women here, oh, I'm not chasing no man, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. You have other women like the Filipinos and the African women over in different countries. They're saying, we need you, Black King. Come over here. If they don't want you, we'll take you. And it's going to be up to women like you, Miss Nebraska. You got to call the black women out in the community that's saying abort black male babies and trying to disgrace the black man. It's up to women like you to check them. Because until black women start checking the other black women, the well-to-do black men ain't gonna want to hear it. Michael B. Jordan is a prime example of how that one lady tried to play him, but when he is on his grind and when he done came up, oh, I don't remember, I never, no ma'am, you tried to play me, so I'm gonna take my resources elsewhere. Now, I mean, whether you date whoever, but I'm just saying that's a prime example, and people got to realize men don't come into their greatness like women do. We come later in life. But that's all. Shout out to y'all, man. I love y'all. Keep grinding, man.
Yeah,
All right, have a endorsement.
I really enjoyed hearing Mr. Hall and High Value and B-Eazy comments this evening. Like y'all are dope as hell. If you didn't hear it today, you heard it from me.
Shout out to all the beautiful black women. Shout out to all the beautiful black women that love black men. I'm with an FBA sister right now. I kill, steal, and destroy for her. So, like, I mean, I love the black women. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the plight, and we do have a lot of healing that we need to do within our community. But when it comes down to it, my preference is a sister. Don't nobody wear cocoa butter and make fried chicken and potato salad the way I like it, like a black woman do. So shout out to my lady.
My potato salad.
And can no one understand the struggles that the black woman could do, you know?
So what I will pose to you, High Value Nurse, I don't have a problem making other black women accountable if they're, doing what you're saying that they're doing, but I don't see it. So if you could do me a favor and I'm on Miss Nebraska on IG. If you want to send me some black women content who are bashing black men and
yes, I sure will. You ain't never heard of the divestment movement?
No, sir, because I'm not
on
my main platform is Twitch, sir. So
okay, cool. I'm gonna drop my email. I'm gonna drop my email in the chat.
Yeah, so I don't see on social media on Instagram and Facebook of black women bashing black men. I just don't see it, and I'm being totally honest with you.
She's actually being honest though, because there's like questions that she asks, like, who's this guy? Who's Just Pearly Things? Who's that?
Yeah, I didn't know who Just Pearly was until a couple of weeks ago, right, M3?
The Lily linebacker.
Yeah. I used to like Just Pearly Things, but I don't like her anymore. She a snake. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But I'm about to drop my email in the chat. I got to get ready for work, and I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little bit.
No doubt, bro. I think High Value Nurse actually touched on the topic. that is very important, specifically when it comes to the African American Black community or the American Black community, whatever you want to call it. And that is that the women don't chase the productive men until later on in life. So what tends to happen is earlier on, we are the corny guy like Michael B. Jordan. And then when we become the built bear, so to speak, then, people tend to flock towards us. Whereas in other communities, they're chasing the men early on. I'll give you an example. In the Black community, one of the things that's told to Black women, girl, go to school. The men will be there afterwards. Whereas in other communities, girl, go to school to get you a good man, right? So the whole time, that junior law degree guy who's going to be, the assistant district attorney in Brooklyn, he was ignored all the way through middle school and high school and college school and grad school. And now that he's graduated, the, white girl who paid attention to him freshman year when, he wasn't on, the JV basketball team is now moved forward because, the average NBA career is only 4 years, and out of 3,000 guys, it's only like 30 jobs a year. So, the NBA star ends up not being a star, whereas the guy who was corny now ends up being, a multi-million-dollar guy. Now, one thing that guys have to realize is, unlike women, we can't broadcast our wallet, right? We can't broadcast our wealth. Most of the time, if you see a guy in, Gucci from head to toe, that's where all his money is. So he doesn't quite have the resources to, provide what it looks like he can because all of his resources were spent on that Gucci outfit. Whereas, a lot of other communities, those resources are still spent on Gucci. Don't get me wrong. You just can't tell it's Gucci, but it's not. The point is they don't want to wear their wealth and flash it. Yeah, we have to wear our swagger, right? So like that's why I've got all this Burberry on, right? But if you look at like the wealthy individuals on Wall Street, none of these dudes are wearing, Ferragamo suits or Armani suits. You know what they're wearing? Bespoke. So it's custom to them. There's no label. Who are you wearing? John Smith? Because that's who I bought it from. That's who tailored this suit to me, right? It's not that he went down to Bergdorf Goodman or Bloomingdale's and went and bought, a $10,000 YSL suit off the rack. Yeah, am I bragging a little bit there? Yeah, a little bit. But but even still, so it's not like people can even tell just from the labels that you're wearing, and then it goes even deeper. Like High Value Nurse said, a lot of these guys are looking at the wrong quality of woman. I'll give you guys another example when it comes down to clothing. Right. And this was spoken to me by another brother who was like, you got to realize Black people don't understand suit language. And I had on an olive green Michael Kors suit. And these two Black girls was like, oh, you in that old dusty old church suit. Da 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 da. It's probably all cheap. They left. And then a Russian girl who worked at the same accounting firm with me, this was in Dumbo, Brooklyn. And she walks up and she's like, these girls, they're uneducated. These are, this suit is Michael Kors. I'm like, how can you tell? She says, I tell from the cut. And I was like, so there's just simple stuff like that is realistically some of the small ways that you can look at kind of the quality or class of a person, right? Somebody who don't know obviously has to wear something that says Michael Kors all across it for you to know that it's Michael Kors. And Michael Kors is by no means a high-end label, right? It's mid-tier, right? The suits are like $1,000, so it's not like crazy expensive or nothing. But in just that mid-tier fashion, right, to be able to tell from the stitching is something that speaks to a class. And I think what ends up happening is a lot of guys are looking at lower caliber, lower vibrational people. They're looking at Stormy Wellington because Stormy Wellington said that the other girl eating a plate was low vibrational. Meanwhile, she eating off the same paper plate with her fingers, with her legs cocked open, sucking her fingers. That's not Pink Pill. I don't know if y'all know who Pink Pill is. I when I first came to the space, I watched her and Kevin Samuels.
I don't know who she is.
Yeah, I don't even know who Pink Pill is.
Pink Pill is a woman by the name of her name is Crystalline Cares, and she's pretty much a divester. But the whole idea of Pink Pill was for it was basically a high value movement. So it's very similar to Kevin Samuels. But what it was preaching to women to get the best possible outcome for them. And unfortunately, that was not Black men. When we're talking about resources, etc., even according to, I think it's Brookings Institute, annual household income of Black families is 140,000, and that's with degrees. And that includes our billionaires like, Robert F. Smith and Jay-Z and LeBron James. Now, if you look at the median income for white men, it was $180,000, $40,000 above the apex of Black man's annual net worth. So, you know what I mean? It's when we're talking about this quote unquote war, it's not a gender war, but the war is for resources, right? And right now, since we don't particularly control land and animals, the way that we control that is with the numbers in our bank accounts. Black men are losing as an overall. And so it gets disheartening to hear dudes talking about, I'm going to go overseas with 40 grand on a $300 a month apartment, and you haven't thought out the entirety. I mean, dude, my big thing on, we talk about generational wealth, but not actually the ways to get there. Oh, the yield curve is inverted. We don't even know what that means. It just, niggas talk a bunch of craziness online and it sounds nice. And, we don't, I'd rather invest. Well, you don't know about a time horizon or an exit strategy. So what are you investing? You know what I mean? So, it's locker room banter or barbershop banter that sounds nice. But when dudes are actually out there executing, it's dangerous, right? And I got a whole bunch of dudes who I know who got their passports, who make over $150,000 a year, who have put at least $250,000 away with me personally in terms of setting up for 10 years down the line. So the hard body passport bros are doing like they were, and that's the problem in our community as Black people as a whole. We think in terms of days, not decades, while other communities think in terms of decades instead of days, right? Shoot, in China, they had the 75-year economic plan. The motherfucker was about 40 as the president in the 1930s when he came up with the 75-year economic plan. If you 40, you ain't living another 75 years. But you still came up with an economic plan for your country that's going to last 75 years. Mm-hmm. Black folks don't even come up with something for the next 75 minutes sometimes. If it ain't, I know exactly, I got 75 days till I get my tax return. And then you said if it ain't the strip club?
Fried chicken joint, fried fish joint.
Okay.
Fried fish joint.
We know, listen, I got to plan in advance to get my hair did, but other than that, we don't plan. Man, I sat with a dude and I was like, yo, I'm going to show you how to use this $5,000 on your daughter for her first birthday to make her worth $500,000. You know what he did? He spent the money on a first birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. You think that little girl going to remember that in 15 years when she's 16?
Preach. I've been telling this to my family for years, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm not even a financial advisor.
Okay, so oh my God. So in the future, Alonzo, right? We're going to have to have like a financial discussion on the stream at least. I'm gonna be out of work, right? Well, I'm getting paid, but due to an injury, I will be out until like after the 24th. So most likely, I might have a little bit of time to do some afternoon live streams.
Shit, I'm about to end up firing up alive.
So again,
I said I'm gonna end up firing up alive after that. I'm sticking around for now because this is fun.
Yeah. But
Listen,
yeah, we just gotta talk about.
I enjoy
money management.
listening to you talk, Mr. Hall. So you seem like you have a lot of knowledge. You're very articulate and very knowledgeable. I just enjoy hearing you talk. So kudos to you.
Well, thank you. I'll drop my channel in the chat. Well, again, part of the reason, Miss Nebraska, I talk the way I talk, I have a different dynamic, right? So, like, you know, I got into my industry 2008, 3 days before Mother's Day. I got shot 5 times in front of my mother in the tray forward. That's Winston-Salem, North Carolina, right? So I used to be, you know, the street dude. I tell the joke I was trying to be 50 Cent and ended up 25 Cent because I got shot half as many times, right? But the reality is that's why I speak about the stuff I speak about the way I speak about it, because I came from the streets, right? Like, I wasn't super thug, but for the simple fact of, and this is why I said, was that where's my hug at ass nigga? So I understand the plight of a lot of these dudes that ended up doing things to, you know, ingratiate themselves with the women. One of the things was, even today, you still hear the young girl, I need me a scammer, I need me a gang member, I need me a drug dealer. I don't need that kind of woman, right? And the problem is that the vast majority of men that we're having these circular conversations with, or the women that they're talking about, is them chicks.
Yep.
Right? Is, you know, and yeah, she's good for a good time, but like, she not on that level. I remember I brought this a friend of mine home with me, this young lady, and my wife was home, and she was like, we was just chilling. It wasn't nothing crazy, but she goes, "Oh, you know, your wife is a woman," and I didn't understand what she meant until I understood she was explaining the caliber of woman that my wife is, and that's probably why I be ignoring the shit out of the chicks in my area, because the majority of them are hood rats. So I ain't really vibing with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could be friends. Listen, I'm a man, so if given the opportunity, yeah, I'm gonna do what I do. But you know, I ain't, you know, really trying to like white shorty up like that. So, you know.
Everybody go follow like Alonzo Hall, okay? Financial advisor.
Appreciate it.
I did give you a follow, Mr. Hall.
Thank you.
Because he could definitely help change your financial life. A lot of people, they don't think about the most important thing, getting life insurance, and then use that to your benefit. But anyways, you know, I'm not the advisor. He is, so he can explain more about it. Make sure I don't forget
I will say this, because somebody brought up what's his name, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
If you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s and you're still dealing with someone who bullied you as a child, please get some therapy. Go talk to a professional. No, I'm not trying to be funny at all. I'm not. Get some professional help. Because I mean, as children say and do mean stuff, but you can't hold a child to an adult. You know, I mean, people change, we grow. I was teased in elementary school. I was called thunder thighs. Now my thighs, I love my thighs as an adult. You know what I'm saying? So just get some therapy. I know some people go through that, you know, they hold grudges for 20, 50 years. But get some therapy for it.
Let me know in the comments, like, what you guys really think. Do you guys really think that Michael B. Jordan was justified? Do you think he was just
No, I'm not saying that he was justified or he wasn't.
No, I know you're saying like, therapy.
And I saw the clip. And you know, he brought up something that she said when they were children, when they were teenagers. And
the term was like
corny.
Was corny, but the thing is, the woman didn't call him corny. So he kind of got her mixed up with another woman who was on her talk show who said that he was corny.
No. She said out of her own mouth that they teased him and called him corny when they were teenagers in high school.
No. I understand. No. What I'm saying was that, like, you know, I mean, if he's talking about, like, okay, like I said, I can't really, like, you know, debate whatever they said in the past, but I was just saying, like, because there was people that was using a reference of what was said, like, on air when she had her podcast or her talk show, and one woman actually called him corny, and she agreed to that. But in addition, she said that, hey, like, you know, I was like, you know, what are you doing with that shit or whatever? Something about, like, his portfolios. And, you know, that's why when he said, like, oh yeah, I'm the corny kid, she was like, well, you misquote me because I was the one who called you corny on the talk show. It was one of her.
Oh, because it was some discrepancy because she was saying originally that he was referring to when they teased him in high school.
Yeah.
And they called him corny, and he remembered that, and he brought that up while she was trying to interview him.
It does make me wonder, right? I wonder at the time, like, did he have, like, any attraction, like, you know, maybe feelings for her? Maybe did he get his heart broken? I mean,
it's
who
possibly
knows?
Because I know a lot of people who hold grudges. You know, I have a god brother right now. We're the same age. He's still holding a grudge of someone who we went to elementary school with who called him names, and we're almost 40. And I'm like, bro, go get some counseling. She probably don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? You can't hold her to that when we were children.
Well, let me.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Like, okay, with your friend compared to Michael B. Jordan, right? Now, what did your friend do with his life as he was holding his grudge?
So my god brother is very successful now. You know, he's what Kevin Samuels would consider a high value man. He's doing very extremely exceptional for himself and his family. Okay. But he is still holding on to this grudge of this girl who knows nothing about it. And I'm like, you're hurting yourself. You're not even hurting her. She haven't seen you in 40 years, bro.
But here's the thing, Miss Nebraska, right? You know, just like your god brother and Michael B. Jordan, okay, is the grudge really hurting you if it led you to the point of success? This is like, okay, like a concept that
it's hurting you when you keep
hold on, Miss Nebraska, right? Hold on, I know you ready to answer, right? But let me break it down, right? Now, of course, I don't condone bullying, teasing, picking on each other, whatever, right? But then this kind of goes back to Marion's from Fresh and Fit, his construct of why bullying, right, is good for you know, men. I think he said all men, pretty much. I don't agree to it, but I kind of see a little bit of his construct to it, because you hold on to so much pain, right? And yes, like, you should get therapy for that, especially if you're successful now. Let it go. But a lot of times, people, they will continue to purposely hold on to that grudge, hold on to that pain, because they're using that pain. That's the only source for them to stay motivated. So if I were to be, let's just say, like my pastor, well, ex-pastor or whatever. I don't even really call him pastor like that, but whatever, fuck him.
Damn.
So, so I had an idea, a vision, okay? And at the time, I was not a property owner yet, okay? I wanted to own multiple level properties. And I wrote down a plan. I wrote down everything. This was even before me getting married, right?
Were you a child or an adult?
No, I was a young adult. I was like in my 20s. I was like, yo, this is my plan. You know, this is what I'm gonna do. I studied this, looked up YouTube videos, read the four quadrants or something by Robert Kiyosaki. I told him everything, right? And you know what this fat bastard told me? He was like, man, just let go of that dream, all right? That ain't gonna happen. Just focus on getting a job, which I do have a job, but focus on getting a job and doing the things that God will want you to do. Doing the things what the Lord will want you to do. Okay. So and you know, and I was crushed for a little bit, but I was furiated at the same time. I was like, how dare your big rounded Tongan ass gonna tell me, right? Because he was a Tongan, right? So I'm telling you like it is. How dare you with your big rounded ass or whatever, right? Looking like Lilo Stitch, gonna tell me to give up on a dream that's already laid out for success. And of course, it took like a couple of years, but I was able to achieve it. Do I have the multiple level problem? Well, no, not anymore. 2020. You know how it be. But the point is, I set my mind, I had a goal and had a focus. Okay. I started with 10 grand, you know. And that was by refinancing a car to get to where I was at. I'm not saying everybody's capable of doing that. But what I'm saying is the point is, sometimes these negative people, they come to your life, and not just him, but other people as well too. You gotta kind of channel in within that pain for just that moment.
Well, see, the difference is M3 that you were an adult and another adult, you know, pretty much crashed your dream. So it was an adult to an adult.
Oh, so he didn't crash it. Yeah.
I'm referring, well, you know, maybe I didn't use the right word, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm referring to children, a child to a child, and you're you know, as you develop and as you get older into an adult, you're still holding on to these bullies or whatever they said or whatever they did to you as a child. Get some counseling. Because a lot of times it shows up in your relationships, it shows up in your friendships, and if you're still holding on to something that you know that traumatized you or that really hurt your feelings as a child, and you're still holding on to it, and now you're 40 and you're still talking about it, get some counseling. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know that it was exactly holding on to it. Like I think, for example, let's use Michael B. Jordan as an example. I think like his situation, it was more in jest, right? So yeah, he remembered, hey, weren't you that girl who used to...
Jordan, I'm referring to my brother.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just using that as an example because it's one that we all clearly know. So in terms of that, right, and a lot of guys who hold on to it, I think it is more just, I remember, you know, what happened back then, and I didn't exactly hold on to it, but, you know, and just, hey, weren't you that girl who used to call me corny back in the day? Now I'm not so corny. Now, yeah, you know, I mean, women do it as well when we're looking at things. Hey, you know, my boyfriend left me because I was fat, so I went and got in shape, and now look at me, right? And it's not so much that she really cares about old dude anymore. She just, it's a motivation tool to motivate you yourself, and she could care less if she ever sees him again or not. So I think it's the same thing when guys, quote unquote, hold on. I don't think they're exactly holding. Now, I do understand what you mean, because some dudes do hold on to it, but I think we have to be very specific in our wording, because that does come across as some of the quote unquote abuse that a lot of these wear my hug at ass niggas are talking about. Like I said, I was one of them, and that's why I'm able to let go of a lot of stuff. Like you're saying, yeah, you know, shit, I was a kid then, right? I didn't know I was going to turn out to be, you know, Mr. Jawline and confident and where I am today. But it, you know, the same thing happens for, you know, the girl who was a little rounder in middle school that we didn't develop as soon, right? Now, dudes are beating down her door trying to get with her, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't have time for me because you thought Big Booty Brenda was gonna be cute, and now I got the big booty." Well, now you got to jump through some hoops. Again, I don't think it's exactly holding on. Like, if you're holding on, yeah, get some help. But I think a lot of that is just adding to their personal motivation.
Yep.
Oh, we got something going on in the chat.
No, they're responding to High Value Nurse's statement. He says very successful men use pain as motivation. It's a necessary evil.
And I'm cool with that. I think that's dope. But if you're talking about it constantly, obviously it bothers you. If you're 40 years old and you're still talking about someone who said something bad about you in the 3rd grade, come on, y'all. Let's go get some counseling.
For all we know, maybe Michael B. Jordan probably just said that just that one time, man.
I'm not talking about Michael B. Jordan. I'm talking about my god brother. Let's go get some counseling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now that's like an ongoing issue where it's like, okay, you're successful and you're still dwelling on that person, whereas now it's like taking over your relationships and your personal mental health and well-being. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not against people who needs to take counseling. I think everybody, even Michael B. Jordan himself, should probably take some counseling. But yeah, you know, I mean, there's no argument to that. Get some help if it's consuming you that much.
And I was the person in school who took up for people who got bullied. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for instance, I went to high school with 3 African triplets, and they were refugees from Sudan. And when they came to our high school, it was a culture shock because a lot of us never seen Africans before, never, you know, seen anyone of that that complexion. So and they had a smell to them. So a lot of the kids started bullying them and teasing them. And I would take up for them because I thought and I felt it was wrong. Just because they look different from us, or they smell different from us, or they talk different from us, doesn't mean that you guys get to treat them any differently. So I used to take up for them. So fast forward, we all link up on Facebook, all 3 of them. And that was the first thing that they did when we linked up on Facebook was they said, "Thank you. We remember you was like the only Black American at our high school that took up for us when everybody else, you know, was bullying us." And to be honest, I forgot about it until they brought it up.
Yeah. No, folks will remember what you do, good or bad. Well, excuse me. It is 3:10, guys. We're already above the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this conversation. But I do want to say it was definitely fun, very intriguing. And Mr. Nebraska, thank you for coming up. Alonzo, thank you. Oh, that ain't time. Alonzo, thank you for sharing your wisdom as always. B-Eazy, High Value Nurse, salutes to you guys as well. So, and thank you everybody in the chat, man, for just participating and just letting out your comments.
Yeah, this was a really good live. I really enjoyed the dialogue. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed hearing from High Value and Mr. Hall and B-Eazy and M3. Like, this was super dope. We got to do this again.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I want to do a topic about like online careers. Even though I never really like had like an online job before, but it was like a request from oh my gosh, what's that lady's name? Relate to the Fallout. So I had some notes that I wrote something down. I have to look for it, but I have something that I wanted to kind of share, maybe like my own personal thoughts of what can online jobs benefit, what are the pros and cons. But if you guys have any experience doing like, you know, like online like stuff, then, you know, just come through and pop up.
I'll be there. I work mostly online.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, and for my folks in Baltimore, I'm now licensed in Maryland too. So Massachusetts, this is like, I don't know, 13 states that I can operate in. So if I ain't licensed in your state, don't worry about it. I'll get it.
Coming soon. All right, that's what's up, Alonzo. All right, well, I'll be looking forward to see you up here.
No doubt.
All right, thank you, my brother.
All right, everybody. I'm watching the clouds.
All right, for sure. All right, let me go ahead. I'm gonna cue this music off because I'm done. But Miss Nebraska, you definitely was a good help. So salute to you again, sis. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna give you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the church sound effects because you was preaching.
No, y'all were preaching. You and B-Eazy was preaching. I was about to pass the collection plate when I got up here.
Man, you know these black folks, man. One thing that's known for sure, right? You know, it doesn't even matter if you're black or white. What we do know is like you people are so cheap, man. In this chat, where the collection plate at? By the way, you know where the dollars at? Where the cash apps? It's okay though. I'm messing with y'all, but y'all donate at your own discretion. Other than that, this was definitely a fun conversation. Stay tuned for many more. I think tonight or later on today, if easily rigs, but it depends again on B-Eazy because I'm not B-Eazy. It depends on Big Rig Slaps because you know Big Rigs like.
Hold on. If it's up, then it's stuck, man.
Big Rigs, he like to take his sweet time, so we'll see though. But yeah, shout outs to the dynamic duo, Easily Riggs. Go ahead and catch them maybe tonight if they do decide to go live. If not, you'll definitely catch them on Tuesday nights, most likely like at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Tonight they may stream a little bit earlier though, so it won't be too past your bedtime, Miss Nebraska.
Okay.
All right.
Because you know I'm an old lady. Us old people, we go to bed early.
Hey, I guess though. But anyways, see you later, everyone. Stay tuned for many more shows. And thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. Always make sure that before you guys head out, like, comment, subscribe, share the video to your friends, and most importantly, get your minds right. Peace.
Peace.
Knowledge and relationships.